Yeah. What's good? It's be the G Shaw Cypher. You officially tune in to On The Grind Live podcast where we support anybody out there grinding in any capacity. It don't matter what that capacity is as long as that person is grinding. And if you got to grind, this is where you want to be. Without any ado, you already know the mantra. If you hear me or you see dope people. Why? Because anything else is uncivilized. Again, I'm going to say it one more time. When you see me, you see dope people. Part of me is I make sure we got our lives all situated right. But I got somebody out here that's grinding and really taking things to another level. We had the opportunity to talk to him on Power 107.6 The Truth, Jacksonville, Florida, and we bringing them to this virtual experience. Barz, what's good, my G?
What up, Shy? Everything's Gucci, man. How you feeling, Brody?
Man, listen, I appreciate you taking the time out on a Friday, you know what I'm saying, and letting the people know what you got going on. Listen, man, tell the people, you know what I mean, who's going to be watching, tuning in any second here through these live channels, where Von Barz is originally from. Talk to us about that and just give me the origin behind your name, Von Barz.
So, originally from Georgetown, South Cac, small area near more like Charleston, Myrtle Beach, that low country area, 843. Uh, it's a good homegrown like community. Like it's basically what the community could raise you. You know what I'm saying? It's small town, so most everybody know each other. That type of vibe. And it's crazy because South Carolina turning up, man. So much love to the home state. I reside near like Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been up in Charlotte.
Right.
Actually moved right outside of Charlotte for like the last 15 years, but South Cac's my stomping ground, and but South Cac's turning up. You got people like Trap doing this thing. I think the YBA cat, he's from there. It's a lot of other cats that's doing their thing.
Right.
Black Zach there. So, Long Money. It's crazy, man. A lot of people in South Cac is doing their thing, and I think it's time. South Carolina about to blow the top off.
Right.
North Carolina, same way. The Carolinas is the movement all in one. Um, but for me running around, I remember back in the days, when I was in school, coming up outside, chilling with the homies, we would always do the battle rap thing. You know what I'm saying? So back before Smack had it really blowing up like on the level it is, and Norbs and them had it like this level, we was doing it out there in the yard. So even in classes, me and my homeboys would sit down and we battle rap. The teacher teaching, we in the back,
Right.
doing the beat. The beat on the table, like John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we rapping in the back, man. Like,
Yeah.
and we having fun with it. And every time I rap, I always wanted to incorporate like similes, metaphors, and rhymes. And so you had storytellers, you had cats that had bars, you had cats that hit, the gangster rap, everything. So I always had bars. So that's what my name was. I started off with Terror because I thought it was tough,
Right.
So I had the name Terror, and then I did some college campuses. I went to college, as an athlete, so it took me through school. I battled on some campuses, and Cassidy, Lloyd Banks, all those was big time, idols when I was coming up. So I just always wanted the bars. So I put my middle name Vaughn, and I put the bars on, which is more like a battle rap name. So I kept it. So it's intentional.
You know what's crazy about that, man? That whole story. I resonate with the story with the, when I was in high school or school period, you know what I'm saying? And we at the lunch table, we in the back of the class. And
Word,
the way, you know what I'm saying, you got your name is the way I got mine, Shaw Cypher. You know what I'm saying?
word already.
Like Cypher was what this dude used to call me Cyphus, and he didn't know my real name, so I just cut that in half to Cypher, and he started introducing me as Cypher because of stuff like that. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
I just put Shaw in front of it. It used to be an acronym: Stay Hot, Always Hard, Cypher. You know what I'm saying?
oh,
And
I like that.
as I grew up, I took the acronym out and just made it Shaw Cypher. So it's dope to hear somebody else that kind of had a similar experience coming up because you know what I mean. Sometimes family gives you the name. Sometimes, you know what I mean, you in the streets and you be given a name. Sometimes
Word.
and stuff, you battling, you got a name. So that's dope. Cause I remember those times, like you said, before Smack, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, what that experience itself is what introduced you into rap, or did you really did you recognize music for what it was before you decided to professionally get into it? How did that come about for you?
When I was young, I really had like, I don't want to say temper problems, but I really didn't have patience. I really just kind of wanted everything however I wanted it right then and there. You know, I used to get beatings when I was little, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
So I got a lot of whoopings because it was times where it wasn't my moment, but I was trying to make it my moment no matter what it was. So I realized, you know, I used to listen to music and things like that, and then it became a way for me to vent before I really got into sports. Because when I got into sports, you know, you can really, like, you play football, you can let your aggression out. I wrestle too, so you know, I was bodying cats, you know, like
Right, right.
folding people literally. So before I had that release, I was, you know, it was nothing for me. So that's why I was kind of like going crazy inside. And then I started rapping a little bit and I started getting it out on paper. And as I grew older, it was more of a release therapy when I like honed my skills and was able to express myself in a fashion where people can understand me and I can release it and then make it resonate with folks. You know what I'm saying? So it was a release therapy for me as I got older. But at first it was, you know, more like, you know, a fun thing and a hobby, you know.
Yeah. No, then it makes sense, right? Like you found another outlet to express, you know, who you are. You know what I mean? You found the sports, and sports did it for you for a minute, and now this music is doing it for you. You know what I'm saying?
For
So
sure.
so for the people that's gonna listen to your music for the very first time, like what would they get from Von Barz? Like give them what's the experience or what experience will they get from Von Barz when they hear your music?
Uh it depends on which track you listening to because I really got mood music. You know what I'm saying? I got some music that are like nostalgic, you
Right.
know, it'll bring you back. And you know, I love those kind of music, those kind of songs because it's like, damn, I've been there before. I see what little homie's saying. Like you feel it. And then I could flip it and have a track that where you just really feel like you want to nod and you in the club and you know, you want to beat. Or I can give you that track that's on the radio,
Right.
and make you want to just chill, ride out, joke, laugh. I even got, you know, also you can't forget about the ladies. You know, I make you know, I feel like that's probably my easiest outlet when it comes to music because I got a lot of talented folks around me and I've done quite a few features and featured quite a few artists. And I got a good buddy of mine. He's you know, really popping out here, you know, his name is Kevius, he's a singer. And he's like, you know, everybody who said they can sing can't sing, but bro really talented. So my manager Al had got a track from him and on the track it was a track for the ladies, and my manager was like, "Yo, man, that's too easy. It's a layup." And it's funny because I love doing songs for the ladies because it was almost like it's too easy.
Right.
So I eat tracks when it's like songs for the females. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um,
How you feel? Definitely.
yeah, it's almost like the cheat code
Right,
because
right.
it's too easy. But then you can challenge me, like, you know, he threw me out a track that's more like tech, like it's almost like rave music, and
Okay.
I'm like, yo, I'm a hybrid, so I don't turn down nothing long as I can get in that bag or get in that vibe. And
Yeah.
we put a track together recently, and it's crazy. I got a few of them, but the last one we did, um, it's crazy, man. It's called Rolling, but yeah, staying in the studio, getting that out, man. I give all colors, dog. You
Yeah,
know,
I feel you. I feel you. What is your, you know, I mean, what, you know, for me, when it comes to me making a song, you know, the beat really tells me what to make. I don't necessarily go in there and be like, I want to make this unless there was something in my mind that I'm already formulating and then I found a right beat for it. So for, you know what I mean, for you, like, how do you get to a point where you're ready to write that next record? You know, you just really talked about like the beat for the ladies, you know what I mean, the being a cheat code. I ain't gonna lie to you, it's definitely a cheat code. Like them things are pretty easy, you know what I'm saying? But when they try to take you out of that zone and maybe introduce you to something different, how do you get in that zone to make it work for you?
uh, like I said, it all boils down to the mood and the feel. Cause like I had a track, and it's probably about like 2 years ago. I'm still going through things, you know, with life like everybody else, but I was really, really going through it with my family on a like crazy level, like some Lifetime A&E type joint. And bro, I got it in my bag. Like I just played a song. It was like a melodic beat, and I wrote the track, and like I'll sit down and write a song, and sometimes it's hard for me to remember the lyrics because I don't. If it's a track that I really really like, I'll sit down and probably take a week to marinate and do something. But I can go to the studio. You give me a beat, and I can write a song on the way to the studio. I can write the song like in the morning before. I hate doing it, but it's almost like it's becoming a routine for me. So it's really the mood that I'm in, man, that really gets me going. Like my producers drop beats, they send me beats, and out of 20 beats, they all be hard, but really on like four like really move me. And when I feel the one that moves me, if I got a story to tell, I drop the story and I calculate it and put it together. And if it's something that I feel like I can have fun with, then it's just off the cuff. It's literally like I drop up a dime, put it together.
Right.
Um, I love getting in the studio organically with other artists and building. A lot of my last creations and my art, my producer has learned. We built the rapport, so he knows what I like. So he's got the cheat code. Like he doesn't necessarily have to always have me in there to build it and orchestrate it around me. But sometimes he does sit there and we'll remake a beat or we'll build it. Shout out to Tampa, my boy Tampa in Florida. He created NASCAR backwards, because I
Okay.
had I kind of had that concept put together, and he built strings in, brought a guitarist in, he put some keys to it, and he built it around me like he orchestrated it. So it happens all kinds of ways, you know what I'm saying?
No, it makes sense. And shout out to the producers out there because producers have a knack, have a way of hearing music differently than the artist is because usually the artist is not all the time because it's dope to be an artist in the studio with the producer and building the song and building the track. But when the track is finished, at least from a producer standpoint, the artist is hearing it from how can I turn this into a song for me. When the producer's pretty much like, yo, how can I make sure that the instrumentals and the tweaks and the 808s, whatever he got in there, how can I make sure it makes sense? So the ears are different when it comes to the producer creating it and the artist writing to it, and y'all finally come together to make it a hit. You know what I'm saying? So you talk about a producer, are you working with one specific producer, or do
Mhm.
you got a couple of them that you kind of rotate between depending on the vibe you're trying to get out?
Yeah, I do have actually quite a long list of like, producers that I deal with and I'm familiar with. But shout outs to my main producer, Tay 10K, out of Gastown, North Carolina, man. He's dope producer, engineer. He tours, travels. Very talented, man. I really rock with him. He from South Carolina originally too. So it's just like I said, my Carolina homies is, coming through big for me. But he's crazy with it, man. I love what he does, man. He said he flies me, different beats, different tracks, and there'd be times where I'm like, nah, I don't want that one. I ain't feeling it.
Yeah.
But he we done got that rapport where I can be like, nah, not that one. Shoot me something else.
Right. Right.
Um, so I really work more so with him a lot. But shouts to my dog D Fresh, out the A. He's definitely a talented producer. I got quite a bit of tracks I've gotten with him. I've done tracks with a cat named Solomon. He's a pretty dope producer. I think he's out of Virginia. But I'll link with. And like I said, my boy Tampa out of the A2. Um, so I got quite a few producers that, I rock with, man. But you got your go-tos. So
Right. Right.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, for sure.
Last time we talked about some other things that you get into. You're an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? You do a different thing. So talk about the entrepreneur side of Barz and everything that you get into. You know what I mean? Outside of the music.
So one thing about me, man, learning coming up, I always used to see the homies. Like you had cats that's in the streets, and I was an outside baby, so I guess you would call it streets. But it's some cats that really live the street, right? So I, when I was younger, I kind of idolized the young cats that's in the youth and my buddies that was really all the way outside. Like these cats is the cats that didn't have jobs. They just lived that life, and that's all their money came in from outside living. I don't condone that because I'm not gonna say that I'm perfect because I dipped and dabbled in it myself.
Mhm.
respectfully, but I got kids and things, and I don't want in this day and age. There's really no room for us to have that as the go-to
Right.
unless you're completely ignorant or you just out in the weeds, and you do that until you get to a point where you can progress past it.
Right. Right.
So we've gotten to a point where we've smartened up. We learn how to make money legit and develop ourselves. And I've got to a point where I got a college degree, and I just saw it to the fact where, like, man, I can go outside at any time. And I learned the game because of the homies and stuff around me, but it's easy to learn outside. It's hard to be in a world where you're not really welcome. And I'm gonna be real.
Right.
For us, especially minorities, I don't care what nobody says. It is legit that we can make it. We all have an opportunity. When people say you got the same opportunity I had, cat, that's where it becomes funny.
Right.
So I'm
Right. Right.
saying you start on the 60-yard line, like I said, you get the touchdown. I mean the 40-yard line, you get the touchdown. Good for you. I might have to start at the 10. My touchdown hit different than yours.
Right. Right. Right.
Uh,
Right.
so so with me, I always figured I want to have options. I want to show my kids, my family that I want to break the link of working. I'm 30, 38. Like I don't want to work the rest of my life.
Right.
So I'm saying, like, I have businesses. I have trucking business. I had a travel business that paid for a CLS 550 Mercedes, the whole joint. Um, through travel, and I also traveled to like 30 countries with it.
That's
Shout
what.
out to World Ventures. And my name rung bells in it because I was good at it. You know what I'm saying? I lived it. I have a truck and working a semi truck, but we got rid of that business because I don't have a CDL, and it was very drawn out and intense. And I got into it during COVID, and everybody's buying box trucks and 18 wheelers and things like that, and it wasn't able to get premium loads, and I was kind of like going through the run of the mill, so I relinquished that business. Also have marketing and trading and investment accounts, and then just recently I opened up a salon for my wife, because she always wanted to do that, you know what I'm saying, and she
Right.
was nervous, and I was doing a lot of things with the music, investing money, progressing, growing with my team and my camp. Shout outs to Pops, I Swim with Sharks. Shout outs to my A&R,
Right.
Dre, with Rock, and you know what I'm saying? I looked over and I was like, yo, I gotta make sure my family feels good along this journey, because when you really got your head down, sometimes you forget about everything else, you black out.
Right.
And I kind of saw myself doing that somewhat. So I said, she was nervous. And I said, I'm a real hustler. Like, I'm a very smart dude. Like, don't let the regular, natural black me fool you. I'm an intelligent guy. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I pray. I believe in God. We'll jump out on faith. I got good people around us that got good vibes and energy. I'm going to press forward. I got you. I'm going to support you. And she jumped off, took a leap of faith. And Steve Harvey said, if you don't jump off the ledge and you don't get cuts and scratch yourself up, you'll never know what you could have accomplished. So she jumped, and I was there to catch her. And
Right.
um,
Right.
and now she's flourishing. The business is growing. We got phase one knocked out. The salon is a premier salon in Charlotte and University. Shout out to Let's Link here, University. Y'all want to get your wig split? Y'all go rock with my team over there. They dope, very talented cosmetologists. They're really good stylists. We got a lot going. So
Right.
my kids are watching that. You feel me, dog? So they see me working a corporate job. I do well with my corporate job. I got benefits, all that stuff. Like, remember when Jay-Z said, driving Benzes with no benefits?
Right.
Hey, look, we passed that, homie.
That's
Like,
right.
we
Right.
passed that, dog. Like, we strapped in. I wanna, if the dreams don't make it big, which it will, just being a realist, I'm strapped in. I get money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's really all it's about. You know what I'm saying? Just having options and shooting at the target multiple ways. My manager, man, Al, shout out to Al. He jumped out there, got his business going. He's a very solid entrepreneur, and he kind of helped me get that drive to be even more ambitious. So we just some get money trying to build everybody around us, cats, and we live and we humble, and we loyal too. We real. So, and that's another thing that's kind of lacking in this day and age. You really don't get all of those things in a melting pot anymore. You get one or
Right.
two of them.
I mean, you elaborate on that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's very important not to only, have your brand and have your brand represented correctly, but to have a team and have the right team and the right people around you to push it to the next level. Like, how important was that for you in order to take it to the levels that you're doing right now?
Super important, Sha. You know what I'm saying? Like, we will we tend to get into these bags and these modes where we think we can do it with 50 cats that we
Right.
grew up with. Nah, shave that, man. Get down to the meat potatoes. Everybody in my team has a purpose. uh I never been a gangy type of cat, you know. I definitely hung out with the homies, and it was plenty times in my life where I was hanging out in this 10, 15 of us all of the time. And then as I kind of graduated, I remember my daddy, when he was alive, he would always tell me, like, you are the company you keep. Um, don't be the smartest one in the room or the loudest one in the room. Um, and he was like, it's gonna be times in your life where people that meant a lot to you, you're gonna have to forget about them, and they're gonna forget about you, and they're gonna just be a memory in the past for you. And you're gonna look ahead and you're gonna be like, damn, it's so many, it's a lot of different faces and different people in my corners now that I'd never thought would imagine would been there. I always thought it would have been such and such and such and such. But as you progress through life, you realize your family, sometimes you would hope it would be blood that is that you still call a family. And then sometimes it transitions to where you call people family, and they're not necessarily blood, but they are family because they do what families should do or do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's very important, right? Like, I got people on my side that became family over time, but they weren't blood, right? Like, you got your blood family, and that's family that you had no control of having, right? Like, that's just within your family. Shout out to the people that do hold you down day one, regardless if they blood
Word.
family or not, right? Because without them, you really don't experience what it's like to have that loyalty and that respect and things like that you,
Right.
being as a person like yourself that dives into music, that dives into entrepreneurship, and that dives into different things, just to make sure you don't got all you don't got all your eggs in one basket. you know what are some of the things you look forward to in the future, that you're set, that you planting the seeds for now, that is going to take you to the next level?
Setting the groundwork, you know what I'm saying? Like, me and Al have discussed what we plan on doing once we run up a couple of them M's. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Uh, at the level I am now, I can help me and a few others. I want to be able to come back and turn family up. And like I said, I don't have to come back and feed 100 wolves, because nobody's going to be able to feed 100 wolves successfully. You're going to get bit. That's the bottom line. That's the code of the streets. Like, somebody's gonna turn sour because they want more than they feel they're a little obligated or entitled. So that's why I say trim your circle down to the cream. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
Right.
so when I come back home and I deal with people that I deal with, I want to deal with such and such. I want to deal with this one. I want to do this for this person. And you're not gonna tell me how to help you. Just know I'm down by law. I'm gonna help you because that's me. I'm the type of cat, you don't got to tell me to do something. Just let me do it because I like it organic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's things I want to do for my community. It's on my heart to go back home. I want to do some things for, my neighborhood, my church, and the family members back home. It's a small town. It's really good folks that grind, that's got big hearts. I want to be able to give back to them, do some drives, give some gifts, and contribute to where my church, who I came up with some real good, like, prophets. Those people, no, you got BS folks everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But
Right.
overall, the ones that's real down there, they real homey people, and they always trying to lift each other up. And that's how I was raised. My mama raised me like that. My grandma, I'm a grandma baby. You know what I'm saying? I was raised by my grandmama. And because my mom and my daddy them was like really getting to it. They was real hustling folks. We started
Right.
from humble beginnings. And I'm a shout outs to my mom and shout outs to my dad. My mom's still here, my grandpa's still here, all my other grandparents and grand they gone. I just got my mama and my mama daddy.
Right. Right.
But they all was hustlers, you know what I'm saying? So all I'm seeing is them go to work, get money, level up, level up. So I'm seeing like, yo, if they can get better, I can start out the gate at least average and turn all the way up.
Right. Right.
So I love the fact that I wasn't silver spoon anything. Everything I got, dog, I got from the mud. Like I appreciate everything I got. I appreciate walking. I appreciate being able to like get up with health. People don't like really appreciate being able to see. My daddy was dying, dog. He turned blind. And it was so crazy because it's like, I remember when he said, son, I want you to take my truck. And I said, nah, daddy, you still here. I mean, you ain't dead. And I'm like, yo, I'll when the time come, I'll get it. He was like, no, you ain't hearing me. I can't see. He's like, take the truck. It ain't gonna do me no good. I want you to have it. And I said, God dang, like, yo, from somebody living 60 years, being able to be on their own and do their own thing, and that was taken away from him.
Right.
Like he would never imagine that he wouldn't be able to see or walk or something like that. So that's something we take for granted. I wake up, I can see, I can touch, I can walk, I can smell, I can hear. Like, yo, on some real that's that's the type of person I am. I become. Like, I appreciate what I have accomplished, what people have accomplished for me or for themselves, because we overlook it because we get caught up. Like, yo, I got a kid, I'm supposed to take care of my kid. You
Right.
are, but how many people don't? So
Right.
congratulate yourself for being a single parent or a dual parent or both in the household. Congratulate yourself for that, and then get better at it if you ain't great at it.
That's a fact. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this, what I mean? Like, reversing back to the music, you got that single NASCAR out, which we got on our radio stations in rotation right now. What else is coming from you musically, man? You got a project coming? Like, what are we looking forward to?
Man, I planned on dropping the project. I don't want to say the name before it dropped because the name is special to me, so it's meaningful. But I definitely had a project slated to drop in January, and then I got with my team and we discussed some things, and we decided now we want to drop NASCAR first to be a solo, and identify exclusively because the track was so fire and so different. So we dropped that ahead, and now I probably will more like spring, summertime. We'll be looking to make a drop for an EP or album, and this one's gonna have some dope features. Man, it's a colorful track. My first EP, No Discount, with Sony, was fire. But you can tell the graduation with the next tape that I'm gonna drop
Okay.
when you hear it. Yeah, though,
You
it's
don't
gonna be
you
good.
don't you don't you don't you don't you don't have a time frame yet. You still developing, when that release time frame is, right? Or
I can drop. I got videos. I got the songs done. I got a shotgun reloaded. We're gonna wait for the timing. And like I said, we'll calculate it. And it could be a spring drop, and then definitely we want to put the budget behind it to make sure it does its numbers. So
right.
we're working with radios and different things like that.
Yeah.
So we trying to tie it in so that I can drop and we can have full effect with it.
Makes
But tape is ready to go, man. Definitely got some bangers on there. So uh,
Definitely. We looking
yeah,
forward to it. You know what I'm saying? We definitely looking forward to it because I know you got it. Especially if you with the I Swim with Sharks family, you know what I'm saying? And you
sharp, baby.
you know what I mean? So shout out to everybody there because they've sent me some dope artists. I had an interview with another artist from there, but an hour ago. And everybody they sent my way was dope. So I appreciate the fact that they know what they doing and they know who, and
Yeah,
they are authentic and things like that. So definitely shout out to that. Man, listen, tell the people if they already don't know, man, how can they get to Von Barz, man? Where's the music? Where's the social media? Where's all that they can get to?
So I got Vivo, I got all the music channels, all the streaming platform. Instagram is VONBARZ Von Bars. Tap into all my social media, all the streaming platform, digital platforms. We live, we up and running. Like I said, this is the fun period, man. Y'all definitely get on the wave because we ganging. You know what I'm saying? We mobbing with it. We doing our thing. Shout out to my team. Shout out to our Swimming Sharks, Boom Sound, definitely Val and his team. You know, those guys are definitely talented PR. Shout outs to Nina Simone and the girls who did the viral track. I mean, the dance joint to the NASCAR track.
Yeah,
Like I said, shout outs to my manager Al. Shout outs to Dre with Rock Nation. Shout outs to our Swimming Sharks Inc. Jay Pops. You know, shout outs
yeah,
to my family. Shout outs to my, my friends, everybody. Shout outs to you, Shop, for having me.
definitely.
Um, it's a blessing, man. I'm glad to be here, man. I'm glad to be in this moment. Shout out to my wife and my kids and everybody, and above.
Definitely. Well, listen, man, we got people tuned in. We just launched our own mobile app, Groundwork Enterprises mobile app. So people was watching it through watching us through the mobile app. So I appreciate y'all tuning in and watching us, things like that. So listen, man, like I said, I appreciate you taking the time out to chop it up with us and talk about what you got going on, man. Any last words before we get out of here?
Stay up, be blessed, get to it, hustle, man. And y'all make sure y'all tapping in with me because it's only going up, having a lot of motion, man. So, like we said, the turn up is real, man. Get with it,
Yeah,
man, and get gone. LBBZ.
let's get it. You already know what it is. Shaw Cypher,